Hey, win on me, win on three. Ready, 1, 2, 3. Win!
Yeah.
Stop playing with him! Stop playing with him! Stop playing with him! Stop playing with him! Stop playing with him!
Hey everyone, this is Facebook James here with Coach Marsden, the JV coach. Last week we weren't unable to interview him after the shellacking of Taft High School, man. 68-0, and they probably could have went ahead and scored 70, but I think he kind of put the brakes on the last few plays. Just kind of tell us what happened last week in your 68-0 victory over Taft.
Well, the boys were humbled after the Cleveland game. We didn't score. It's the first time in the 15 years I've been with the program that we've been shut out, and we came into the season with big expectations, and that kind of, brought everyone back down to earth. They came ready to work last Monday, and it was a short week with a Thursday game. We had to condense everything and didn't really introduce new plays, just kind of worked on our basics. And, from the opening kickoff return, 70 yards for a touchdown, the tone was set.
Great, yes. It seemed like, when I got to the game, it was like 38-0 in the first quarter. So you guys really kind of avenged your loss from Cleveland, and you guys just really put it on Taft. And I know they're rebuilding, and so just if you will, just maybe touch on just the thought behind public schools and kids not wanting to play football. Obviously, you have 60 kids in your program, so the report about kids not playing football. It's alive and well at Pally. Can you kind of talk about that?
Yeah, well, a lot of the problems stem from renegade coaches that just hit all day long every day, and that's where the concussions begin and the injuries, and the kids get tired of the sport. And we do a real good job at Pally of, first off, following the law, the rules, but also making sure that they're ready and fresh on Friday and they're not worn out after Tuesday of 2 hours of running into each other. So I think we do a good job of trying to get them peaking at the right time against opponents that are pretty worn out. Playing in this Valley heat, they have thin numbers, so they don't have a lot of depth when it comes to maybe scout team. They might not even be able to play 11 on 11 in practice. We can do that, and we still have 30 guys on the sideline that can come in and get reps. So that our depth has really helped us out, but it's because of our reputation that it's a safe program and the kids are going to get taught right and taught well, and have fun too.
Now, because you have 60 kids, man, how do you manage such a large load of kids on the practice field and just organizationally wise? How do you manage just moving 60 kids from week to week, game to game?
Yeah, it's not easy. But we do have a totem pole, and the kids know. We have the veterans, we have the kids that are a snap away, and then we have those that are learning the game, and we try and incorporate each of those into our drills to make sure the kids that are one snap away from getting called up to varsity are getting meaningful, not just reps, but meaningful coaching, while simultaneously catching the kids up that have never played before. And it's difficult, but we make sure that kids are going against the right talent level in practice when we're hitting. And then when it comes to our first and second team going against our scout, that's when the kids have their opportunity to kind of prove they maybe belong a little higher up and deserve more playing time. We also last year started with our travel squad because they were putting us on buses that didn't have enough room for all of our kids in pads, and you had to earn your seat on the bus. And that's kind of really woken kids up because they want to get on that bus and travel to away games and not be left behind. But also it kind of alerts them as to where they fall on the depth chart. And now that we're home next week, everybody will be dressed, and they would have gotten into these games the last 2 weeks. There was just no room on the bus for everything. And next Friday, hopefully, we all get in too.
Well, that's a good thing. Let's just kind of talk about today. Your opponent was the Granada Hills Highlanders, and so the final score was 37-6. Just kind of talk about briefly what happened in the game, things that you liked, things that you didn't like, and moving forward to the next home game.
Well, we installed 2 new plays this week, and they both worked. One went for a touchdown. The other one, I went for another touchdown. We drew up one play in the huddle that we've been, tweaking in practice, trying to get right, and we had an opportunity with a kid on Granada cramping up to have a free timeout. We drew the play up in the huddle and scored on it. So that's 3 touchdowns off of stuff that we've been working hard on in practice after the Cleveland week, got our base offense right. We also installed PAT this week and went 5 for 5 on the PAT, and you don't see that at JV. You don't see teams kick the PAT, let alone go 5 for 5. It was just incredible to see that go out there, and it's pretty cool that we were able to count on that. But also maybe we might need a field goal down the road, and that unit now has the confidence that they can do this in a game.
Yeah, I was kind of shocked and surprised today when I saw the PAT because I hadn't seen it all season, so I was kind of shocked and amazed. Well, Coach Marsden, I appreciate you spending some time trying to give JV some more screen time, if you will. I was at back to school night last night, and I was sitting in the room, and I saw one of the JV players. He actually had his phone out, and I could tell the music going on in the background. I was like, wait, who was that looking at the YouTube channel? So just wanted to give JV some love. Last question, Coach. Who are some of your standout players right now going into we're almost a few weeks away from league play? Who are some of your standout guys that are on JV right now?
Oh, geez, we've had Hugo, our starting tailback, playing Mike Backer. Xavier, our slot receiver, also playing D-end, and those two have really played well. Our quarterbacks, we're trying to get them up a little more so we can pass it more. But our O-line was inexperienced at first. They've really caught up now. Those guys were all backups last year. Now it's their turn. They're doing well. But I would say right now, Hugo's the one we can kind of count on. Barrett is doing a good job at fullback, and those are two guys that I know varsity has an eye on. So I don't know how long I'll have them. I actually didn't think I was going to have a couple of those guys at the beginning of the season, and they just weren't quite ready. So we got them, and that was kind of like found money for me. So we're working with that, and that's great. But if they do get the call, we have finally our freshmen are starting to click with them. It happened today with a couple of them where like now I know the cobwebs are off, and now they're ready to contribute when it counts the most.
Well, Coach Marsden, we appreciate the time, and going forward, we know we want all the JV parents to come on out and support, as you guys have been for the past 3 weeks, traveling to the Valley. So just continue support, and Coach Marsden is the one. I mean, he's the one who, maybe I think he's averaged maybe one loss for the past few seasons. The kids have gone on to win the JV. Western League champs, and so I know good things for him for the rest of this season. So we thank you, sir.
I thank you, and I'm glad we're not in the Valley after today.
Absolutely, me too. All righty, signing off for Coach Marsden. I'm Facebook James. See you later at home at the Stadium by the Sea.